Hi everyone, welcome back to TCM Connections. In this video I'm going to talk about the relationship between TCM knowledge, memory and Indigenous culture. Now what challenge most students face with learning TCM is the ability to remember the vast amount of knowledge, the hundreds of acupuncture points, the hundreds of individual herbs, the hundreds of herbal formulas containing anywhere between 3 and 10 individual herbs, and how to apply them effectively in clinical practice. And on that journey of trying to find a better way, and I need to find a better way because I struggle with it myself, is I came across an author named Lynn Kelly and her book Memory Craft. And in her book she talks about how Indigenous culture have managed to pass down vast amounts of information accurately from generation to generation without having to write them down. And they do this through song and dance and stories, verbally passed down. She also talks about how the brain is wired to remember better if it's via a song, a dance, or a story. So I wouldn't say I've intentionally tested it out, but what I came across is, using an example I'm going to explain, is let's just use this diagram first, in that normal study does have some efficacy, but when it comes to large amounts of data, the memory and recall can be quite poor, or poor for me anyway. But if we take a slightly different route, in that we do our normal study, we go through a clinical session or sessions, and with some support, that clinical session becomes a little story, and for some reason the brain remembers more details. To show you what I mean, so in this example, scenario 1, I am just using rote memory to try and remember my theory, and the end result is, more often than not, it's a mental blank because there's just too much information. In scenario 2, I performed an actual clinical session with a real patient, and what I found is, here are the details I can remember. I remember her name, I remember what she looked like, I remember she was middle-aged, wearing a dress, walking slowly into the clinic. I remember what she told me in terms of her the symptoms that she was experiencing: fatigue, brain fog, lumps on her arm, etc. I remember what acupuncture points were used to treat her, and what those acupuncture points names were, and what they do. I remember the 2 herbal formulas in Chinese pinyin that were prescribed, and what those formulas do for her. And the extra cool thing is, she actually felt better after treatment, and when she came back next week, she was much improved. So there you go. This clinical session became my own little story, and my brain was able to recall the details to this day. Anyway, something worth considering, and I'll be looking forward to more videos about memory techniques in the future. Thanks for watching. See you next time.